Hey Meno Warriors, my name is Kate Hartley and welcome back to my channel. I share a weekly video with you every Monday about something related to menopause. Today I'm actually going to talk about the foods that I have found to be the most helpful in helping you get rid of menopause belly fat. It is something that I certainly had when I started to go through perimenopause, and it is the most common thing that I hear as a problem for the ladies that I work with in my body confidence group. So I thought I'd address a few issues that you may have a few questions about various food types, carbs, protein, what do you eat, what shouldn't you eat, supplements, etc. So I'm going to go over all of that today. Just very briefly, when I was going through the perimenopause, I was already doing quite a bit of exercise. I thought I ate clean. I thought I knew how to eat healthily. And because I was gaining weight around my middle in particular, I said, well, perhaps I just need to do more exercise and I need to eat less because, you hear the calories in, calories out argument all the time. And it's true, energy in, if you're consuming energy, you have to be expending energy too. But I was finding that I was creating so much stress in my system because I was doing more workouts than I needed to do, and I was eating less, which was creating stress that it was causing me to hang on to belly fat. Belly fat is largely a stress response. It is largely down to the fact that as your estrogen levels fall, all your sex hormones fall as you go through perimenopause because you don't need them any longer. However, when our estrogen falls, it makes cortisol rise, one of our stress hormones. And also as cortisol rises, so does insulin. So that is our fat storing hormone. So naturally, with the decline in estrogen levels, we are going to have more cortisol and insulin circulating around our bodies. So we need to do things that are going to help bring that response down. And there's a lot that we can do. Firstly, what I would suggest is you eat cruciferous vegetables. They are renowned to be super helpful in helping you get rid of excess estrogen. So you might be thinking, yeah, but I haven't got enough estrogen, so don't I want to hang on to every drop of estrogen that I've got? Not necessarily, because you are estrogen dominant. As your estrogen levels fall, so does progesterone and testosterone. However, estrogen falls slower, so you end up with estrogen dominance, and that completely sends things off kilter. So you want everything to be as balanced as possible. So when you are eating cruciferous vegetables, those help to actually mop up that excess estrogen. If you have excess weight, by the way, excess fat in your body, your fat is also creating estrogen. So you want to get to a healthy weight as soon as you possibly can, particularly if you're struggling with your menopausal symptoms, not to mention the increased risk of cancer and the increased risk of heart disease. So do make sure, if you're struggling with getting your weight off healthily, please message me, because that's something I deal with very regularly with the ladies that I work with. And we have a very, very successful system to follow. You'll find that you will probably be eating way more than you've ever eaten, and you'll be losing weight, but you'll be feeling really energized with it too. You will not feel deprived. I absolutely promise you. The system is designed for lifetime success, and it's actually a pleasure to follow. So cruciferous vegetables are something you want to be eating more of. You might find that they might make you a bit windy. Certainly Brussels sprouts. I love sprouts, but they make me gassy. However, I think it's one of those things that you'll see how you feel. If it creates a lot of digestive pain because of the trapped wind, then choose another cruciferous vegetable like cauliflower or broccoli, that sort of thing. But if you're able to eat Brussels sprouts and you enjoy them, then they are a great source of helping to mop up that extra estrogen. I have an adaptogenic herb superfood shake every day, and I actually add frozen cauliflower into that, because again, it's an easy way of getting an extra portion of veggies in. You can't taste it, or butternut squash in actual fact, but as we're talking about cruciferous vegetables, it means that is helping keeping me fuller for longer, and the adaptogen herbs help you manage stress more effectively, which again helps to negate that cortisol spike. So it helps to sort of reduce the impact on your belly fat. Just be mindful also, you may have an underactive thyroid. When you have an underactive thyroid, essentially your metabolism slows down, and it can lead to weight gain. It's not likely to lead to significant weight gain. It's likely to be more between sort of 5 and 10 pounds in weight if you do have an underactive thyroid. You can get your thyroid very easily checked. So it's something that I'd recommend that you do, purely because if you are struggling with a weight issue. It could be that your thyroid has just gone a little bit low and it's negatively affecting your metabolism. If you're feeling very tired all the time, you sort of no longer have energy, that can also be part of the menopause. But it can also, thyroid is very easy to rule out. So if you're struggling with that, it might be worth you getting your thyroid checked. Also, if you're getting swelling around your ankles, that's also a sign of inflammation in the body. What we want to do is make sure we're keeping inflammation as low as possible. If you're struggling with things like IBS, leaky gut, Crohn's, you're likely to have a higher level of inflammation in the body. Which just brings me on to the nightshade family, because the nightshade family of plants are things like potatoes, bell peppers, eggplants, what are they called over here? Aubergine, brain fog. Chili peppers, did I say chili? And a lot of spices come from those as well. So things like paprika, obviously chili powder, cayenne pepper. And those, there's a lot of anecdotal evidence. There's no proven evidence, but when you're talking about things that relate to food and nature, there's obviously not a lot of proven evidence because it's not a drug, it's just food. And I think they're one of those things, if you're struggling with inflammation, if you're struggling with gut problems, if you have leaky gut, if you have IBS, consider removing the nightshade family from your diet for a short period of time, because there is some anecdotal evidence pointing to the fact that it can increase inflammation in your body. Well, if you've got increased inflammation, that is going to put your body into stress. It will cause your body to hang on to more fat, and it can lead to the swelling of your ankles and things like that. So just be mindful of that. Did I mention that sweet potatoes are also part of the nightshade family? I love potatoes. Thankfully, I don't think I'm sensitive to nightshades, but it's just worth considering if you've not come across that concept yet. Just Google the nightshade family and then you'll get the full list, because I didn't do a very good job of sharing it then. You also want plenty of healthy fats. Somebody messaged me the other day, she said, oh, I'm committed to losing weight and I've cut out fats and I'm going no carbs. And it's just like, why? We need carbs, we need fats, we need protein. It's really important that we have a well-rounded way of eating. There is so much don't touch carbs out there, and for some people it will work. Listen, we're all completely unique. If you're following a keto diet and you are able to follow it long term and it's working for you, and you've got no other side effects as a result of following the keto diet, then stick with it. I personally don't think it's the healthiest way forward, particularly not long term. We need carbs. Carbs gives us energy. Tend to stack your carbs in the morning rather than the evening, because you don't need that much energy in the evening. Typically for me, at the end of the day, my plate will consist of 25% to 30% of protein and the rest will be vegetables. But you can get round, if you're a lover of potatoes like I am, I still have my potatoes as treats. I do air fryer chips. I love mashed potato. Yeah, I love roast. I love anything to do with potatoes. Absolutely adore the things. But I don't have them every single night. So sometimes I might mash up some cauliflower and Brussels sprouts and maybe sweet potato or parsnips and put a knob of butter on the top and literally just mash those down. Sometimes I might then quickly put them in the air fryer to crunchy them up a little bit. But more often than that, I'll have that as like a base, and then I'll pop my piece of meat on top of that. So, there's all sorts of ways of getting around that issue, and in actual fact they're really tasty. Turnip fries or Swede fries, rutabaga in the States, they are lovely in the air fryer. The first time I saw it in a recipe, I was thinking, oh, I'm not sure if I'm really going to enjoy this. And it was amazing. And you would not really know it wasn't the traditional spud. So there are all sorts of ways of getting around the fact that you may want the traditional white potato, but try other options. Starchy vegetables. Butternut squash is lovely, roasted in some coconut oil or olive oil in the oven, and put some paprika over it and maybe some garlic, drizzle some garlic oil over it. And it's absolutely delicious. Serve that up with some feta cheese and some lentils cooked in tomatoes and onions, and there you have a delicious meal that's not got a hint of potato around it, but it's incredibly healthy. So it's just about being a little bit creative with your meals and your recipes. You're eating a wide range of healthy fats, things like coconut oil, olive oil, oily fish, although fish is incredibly expensive. But if you're struggling on a budget, maybe for mackerel over smoked salmon. Mackerel's delicious. Well, I think so. I think mackerel's delicious. Mackerel's really, really good for us. So it's an easy option to get a better value fish rather than the very expensive smoked salmon. Avocados, they are technically a fruit. They are so good for us. They're packed full of fiber, vitamins, minerals, healthy fats, and they make a lovely addition if you're sort of wanting a little bit of extra at your mealtime. You can make an avocado puree. You can just slice up some chunks of avocado and have it some salt and pepper and a swizzle of balsamic vinegar on it. Make sure you're eating a wide range of healthy fats. Next brings me on to berries. Berries are really high in antioxidants. The great thing about berries is that they don't trigger your blood sugar levels like something like a banana does or an apple does. Bananas and apples are great for you, by the way, but if you are really wanting to get a little bit extra out of your nutrition, try and have a few berries every day as well, even if you have it on like maybe some oats for breakfast or have it with some Greek yogurt. And then you've got the protein and you've also got your berries there. They're very high in fiber, and try and eat a wide range of different colors of food. And that's where berries are so great, because it's quite hard actually to eat the sort of the bluey purpley foods because there aren't that many of them. So if you can eat frozen blueberries, the aubergines or the eggplant, you know, you're already hitting that sort of blue, that darker purpley category of food. It's really important that we eat a wide range, just so that we're getting a wide range of antioxidants that are going to help us boost our immune systems, battle the free radicals that we're all exposed to on a daily basis, and that we also create as just a result of being alive, that our metabolism creates. So a wide range of fresh fruits or frozen fruits. I tend to eat a lot of frozen fruits and vegetables because they're better value, they're easier to prepare, and I actually think they probably hold more nutritional value than the stuff that's been stored in the shop for probably days, and it's taken days to get from wherever it was shipped in from, unless of course you grow your own, which of course, you know, if you grow your own, you've got the best of both worlds. Dark chocolate is also really good for you. Don't eat too much dark chocolate before going to bed because it can be quite high in caffeine. But again, raw cacao is bursting full of antioxidants. When I wake up in the morning, I have a cup of hot raw cacao drink. It's not like a tin of drinking chocolate. It's much more bitter than that. But it's much lower in caffeine. I love coffee as well, so I save my coffee until about 11:30 in the morning. So my first drink is my raw cacao. Oh, and it is delicious, and I have that with a little bit of oat milk. So dark chocolate is really good for you. The milk chocolate, unfortunately, is not. But you probably only need a square. You don't need an awful lot of it. And if you're thinking, oh, I think I need to eat more of it, just have a square and then give it 10 minutes and see, do you really actually need another square? Because often it's just, you've had your meal and you just want that little bit of, dark chocolate for me is like the full stop at the end of my meal sentence. And I don't have it every night, but when I do have it, it's just like, that was really, really good. And it's pretty good for you as well. It also it's quite high in L-tryptophan. L-tryptophan helps the body create serotonin or release serotonin. Foods high in L-tryptophan are things like bananas, nuts, tofu, dark chocolate, turkey, chicken, coriander. Also, whole foods, they help you release serotonin, which is one of your happy hormones. I cannot talk today. So, make sure that you're ticking those boxes of eating a wide range of just single ingredient pieces of food. Just want to talk about insulin resistance and go back to the carb thing a bit. If you love rice, I would tend to eat, if you love white rice, choose basmati over white rice because it has a lower sugar spike in your blood. A lot of us are insulin resistant as we get older, which can also contribute to belly fat gain. So we don't want to be triggering our blood sugars more than we really need to. So things like black rice, wild rice, red rice, Camargue rice, that's absolutely lovely, but avoid the white rices if you can do. The legumes are good for you. They're full of B vitamins. I can't eat many legumes, they really react to my tummy, but they are incredibly beneficial for you. They're very high in fiber, antioxidants, etc. So make sure that you're eating a wide range of legumes, things like chickpeas, lentils, adzuki beans, mung beans, that sort of thing. Pasta, if you have to eat pasta, I would eat the whole grain variety, just because otherwise you really are going to be spiking your blood sugars with the white pasta. It does go a bit gloopy. You know, when you cook pasta in the pan and you see that gloop at the end of it, that sort of white stuff that's left in the pan, well, there's going to be quite a bit of that in your body as well, and that is not going to be beneficial for you. So I tend to, there are different camps out there, but I tend to eat zoodles if we're having spaghetti bolognese. If my kids or we've got friends around and they want spaghetti, that's absolutely fine. I'll cook them whole grain spaghetti, but normally I will have zoodles instead, spiralized courgettes. And they are lovely. And I pan fry them for just enough to heat them. So in a little bit of olive oil or coconut oil, cook them for about 2 minutes or 3 minutes. I don't cover them over because they have a tendency, once they get warm, they can get a bit floppy. So I just really literally, it's fast heat, very fast, and then I stick them underneath the bolognese sauce, and it's absolutely delicious. And I think I probably feel fuller after my meal than everybody else who had the pasta, because of all the fiber that I've had from the vegetables. And there's something magical about courgettes or zucchini. They help, maybe help you too, but for me, I find that if I eat courgettes, I drop weight really fast. There's something about them that just makes you drop weight, probably because they're such a clean vegetable. And you know, when we're reducing inflammation in our body, it does enable us. The body says, "Oh, I'm happy. You know, I've not got inflammation, so I'm actually going to get rid of some of this excess stuff that's stuck in my cells." And some of the ladies that I work with, it can take them up to 6 weeks to start to shed fat. The body just needs a bit of time to get into fat shedding mode. Doesn't mean you should give up on what you're doing. It just means stick with it, be patient, and it will actually happen. As for supplements, so as a menopausal woman, I'm really focused on eating sufficient protein every single day. I have a high protein diet with carbs. If you have a look in the description, I will link my powerful proteins guide there for you. Just gives you like the top sources of powerful proteins that are going to help you make sure that you've got enough. It also shares the equation of how to work out how much protein that you ought to be eating every day. And so I do have a protein muscle recovery drink. I did start to take creatine. I thought I'd give it a try and see how it affected my muscles and the development of my muscles. I actually didn't find it made any difference at all to my muscle sculpting. I do think it helped with brain fog, funnily enough. If you take creatine, you need to have it for sort of 2 to 3 months before you start to notice the difference. It has like an accumulatory effect on you. I'm not taking it at the moment. I tend, if I have a supplement, I tend to give it a break so I can really feel, was it working, wasn't it working? I think it may have helped with brain fog. A lot of people swear by it for their muscle sculpting. So, you know, if you start to take creatine, just beware, you know, do you feel like your muscles are sculpting better than they were before it? I always take a muscle recovery drink that's got branched chain amino acids in it. So afterwards, after I've done my strength training workout, I have that because it gives me a fast delivery of protein that's going to go and helps repair and restore the muscles that I've just been breaking down with my workout routine. The adaptogen herb superfood shake that I have literally every single day, I swear by it, that also contains 18 grams of protein. So again, it's a really good source of protein. The muscle recovery drink contains 24 grams of protein. So, you know, I'm getting quite a lot of protein that way easily, and it's just in a quick drink. So it's a doddle to prepare. And then I make sure I have a protein-filled breakfast and ideally protein-filled lunch and a protein-filled evening meal. Obviously, evening meal, like I said earlier, I tend not to go for the carbs in the evening. Morning and lunchtime, that's when I'm likely to have my carb. So those are the key areas to consider when you're thinking about the best way to eat in order to lose belly fat specifically. Obviously, if you are restricting calories, you've got to be really mindful of it, because I know there's the argument, the calorie in, calorie out equation. Of course, if you're eating more than you're actually expending energetically wise, you are going to start to gain fat. You can put on weight if you're eating healthy food. You might eat a massive bowl of salad, but once your body's had enough of the nutrients and filled up on what it needs, the excess stuff gets stored as fat. So just be mindful of that. So focus on anti-inflammatory foods. Healthy fats are going to be your best friend. Try and eat starchy, fiber-filled carbs rather than the refined carbs. Make sure you're eating sufficient protein. a wide range of colours of fruits and vegetables, and consider supplementation. I think if you're really looking for proper belly fat reduction, you need to be eating in order to get rid of that belly fat, because like I say, if you're starving your body, that is creating stress, and you're going to be feeling yuck. Your brain fog's going to be worse. You're going to be more antsy. You'll have less energy, and you just feel ropey. When you don't eat enough, you feel ropey. When you eat sufficiently, there is something joyous about it. Yes, it means that you're probably spending a bit more time around food, which is one of my bugbears, and I make myself cross about it too, because feeding ourselves is one of the key elements of healthy life. And when I'm really busy with work, I'm as guilty as anyone else, just to sit and think, oh, I'll just have lunch in another hour or so. That's the beauty of having something like a protein shake that's a healthy one. Mind what those protein shakes contain, because a lot of them will contain loads of sugar and artificial fillers and things that you don't want in your body. So make sure when you choose a protein shake that you're choosing a really healthy one. The one I use, like I say, has got the pre and probiotics and the digestive enzymes, so it's great for your gut health, which is going to help reduce inflammation. But it's also got those adaptogen herbs, which help you manage stress more effectively, bring down your cortisol response. If your cortisol is lower, so is the amount of insulin in your body, and it does have a very effective way of helping to reduce belly fat. So I hope that's been helpful for you. If you've not yet subscribed, make sure you do so. Please give it a thumbs up. If you've got anything you'd like me to cover in a future episode, either put a comment below or message me on either Facebook or Instagram. I am at Kate Hartley UK on them both, and I'd be delighted to add that. And it's really nice to hear back, to see what things you are struggling with in particular. And even if I've done a recent video on it, I'll either send you the link to the recent video, or I'll just re-record a new version of it. So thank you for your company. I hope you found it helpful, and I look forward to chatting with you again soon.